Hello, my name is Kamil Lazrak, and I am the project manager of Team Masterminds. Here is our videos project about DMAIC analysis of Métis Aerospace. The concept of this video is that we represent a fake consulting firm which audit Métis Aerospace. Métis Aerospace is known as the first company of the aeronautical cabling in Morocco. Métis Aerospace is one of the leading companies of the aircraft industry of the country. The cabling is a major concern in the internal structure of aircraft. To protect its position of world leader in the aircraft industry, Métis Aerospace set as permanent goal the optimization and the continuous improvement of its mode of production. It is in this perspective Métis Aerospace often calls consulting firms to study their performance and find any improvement strategies. Recently, it has been noticed an increasing number of complaints from customers. Métis Aerospace decided to hire us to fix this issue and improve the image of the company. One of Métis' quality engineers contacted the small consulting firm that we represent and gave us the necessary data. During 4 weeks, we play around with this data to conduct a DMAIC analysis. Today's conference with my teammates is scheduled to ensure that each member has correctly done its task. The other objective of this meeting is to set the project bonus in terms of the performances of each team members. Every member is going to explain why his part is the most important. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sunny. I take in charge of the define part, and I think define part is very important. In define part, first we will set the impact of our project. For example, like this time, we said our project is to reduce the number of complaints and improve the general image of Métis Aerospace. And then we will set a clear objective with a specific number. For example, like we would like to reduce the complaint of from others by 80% from January 2012. And then we will set a time schedule for the different process inside our project. The DMAIC will set it in a time limit in order to keep our project become safe. And I think the define part is very important as these factors which is determined during the process of define can make a lot of effect to the project. For example, like the objectives, if we do not clearly show the actual figure of how many complaints we need to reduce, Métis Aerospace will not be satisfied as our solution may not give the effects that they want, like reduce the number of the complaints to 40%. And in addition, for the time schedule part, if we don't do the time schedule for our project, it is easier for our project to have a situation of out of control and make our solution become lately generated. As a result, the later we give the solution to Métis Aerospace, the less effective for our solution.
Hi, this is Tracy. I'm responsible for the measure part. We initiate the project because Métis received quite a large number of complaints from its customer, which greatly affects company's image and potential growth. So it's important for us to quantify its operation in measure stage and think about what we can do in order to improve the current situation. From the past data, we can see that there was a great increase in the number of complaints in 2011, We tried to find out the reasons behind, and we found that in the first 2 years, defects per million ppm is moving within an acceptable range. The lower control limit is 0 because we want ppm as low as possible. But starting from early 2011, there was a great variation. ppm fluctuated and increased quite a lot. It is higher than our UCL quite frequently, and this shows our progress is out of control and our process is not stable. The process sigma level drops from 5 to 4.25 as ppm moves from 1000 to 3000. This indicates our performance level is dropping, so there's a need for us to find out the root causes as soon as possible and come up with corresponding solutions.
Hello, my name is Lev, and I was in charge of the analyze part of the project. It is true that the measure part was quite important in order to progress with the project because we were able to establish relationship between customer complaints and number of non-conforming products. In analyze stage, we wanted to dig deeper and see what could be the cause of sudden increase of non-conforming products. We have first developed a cause-effect diagram to establish what could be the potential reasons for defects in products. Causes of the non-conforming products may include measurement issues, failure of the machine, problem with the general method, or material handling. It can also be caused by man failure, namely insufficient supervision and lack of training. Lastly, materials could also be easily a possible cause of the hardness defects. After completing the list of possible causes, we have decided to focus on the material part, also partially because we were able to obtain the rough estimates from the company regarding the physical nature of the defects. Nature of the defects can be roughly broken down into 7 major groups, while only 3 and 4 account for defect and missing components respectively. Poor braking accounts for 9%. Poor tracking contributes to 7% of the defects, and more severe reasons include bonding defects and electrical failure accounting for 12% and 20%. Lastly, we can see that thermal failure accounts for almost half of the defects, roughly at 45%, and that is where we focused our attention. After finding a major physical nature of the defect, we had to figure out which part is accountable for the thermal failure. After contacting the company, we have established that the only part contributing to thermal failure defect is actually a small fixing component that is being sourced from a third-party thermal tracking solutions company. Analyze part was crucial in order to establish the root cause of the problem.
Improve part should be the part giving suggestions based on the analyze to improve the process and achieve the goal defined before. This part is important that this part should be the only part giving the specific actions to solve the problem to improve the quality of the process. According to the analyze part, it is easy to realize that the root cause of the complaint is the growing ppm since the thermal failure. Reducing the ppm to achieving the Six Sigma target, it is essential to strengthen control of the piece from the supplier before shipment. Contacting with the third-party component suppliers and giving suggestions to improve the quality of the thermal tracing components. Some specific suggestion is that to provide a training session of the components manufacturing for the operator in the third-party supplier. In the training session, the important sequence in the manufacturing process should be emphasized to the operator. Moreover, a proper manufacture method such as the rules of operating machine and the method using the measurement tool and the manufacture sequence should be included in the training session. For the supervisor phase, providing a proper acceptance criteria to ensure the output of the thermal tracing components can meet our company's standard. The criteria should highlight which part of the component has the most possibility would cause the thermal tracing defects. Another possible suggestion is that to replace the third-party companies for better components quality by comparing the cost and the quality. Since to provide training sessions or come up with a new acceptance criteria may bear a high cost. If the cost is too high to afford, the optimal option may be changing the thermal tracing component suppliers to improve our process and reduce the complaints of the customer.
Hello, so I'm Hugo. Well, I understand that the improvement part may be actually okay, the DMAIC engine, but I think that like the control part is very important as well. Well, we are going to monitor the changes over time and to sustain and maybe further improve the whole manufacturing processes. One of the reasons is that, as mentioned before in the improvement stage, training sections will be provided to the employee of the supplier to ensure the manufacturing process is well under control and conforming to our standard. In order to monitor the training progress of the employees, training documents should be provided for further usage. Another reason is that we'll provide accurate information for the acceptance criteria as mentioned above before in the improvement stage as well. We need to perform gauge R&R analysis on our measurement system such as pull test and shear test to verify the bonding quality of the supplier's product. Also, we will need to acquire some benchmark instrumentation for comparison to our measurement system so we can give credibility to our measurement system as well. Over the time, we'll acquire and plot the data of the supplier's incoming products, the ppm. That is not exceeding the upper control limits, that is 1,552. Lastly, we will also monitor the customer complaints over time to have less than 10 complaints in a month, which is less than 80% of 50 before. So I think the control part is the most important throughout the.
Thank you for listening. As you can see, every steps are as important as the others, and every team members achieve an essential work in DMAIC process. Hope you liked the video. Goodbye.